This program contains violent content which may be too intense for some. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh my goodness. I was muted the whole time. I did it again. Good evening, everyone. And thank you for joining us on True Crime with Marv. As you can see, I have a mini-me behind me. She is wrapped up because it's kind of cold in here. But she's going to help me read some of the documents tonight, and I really appreciate the help. So, just want to say good evening to Mark. He won't be able to join us tonight. He's got some things to do, but we're going to continue. Hello, Jill. Hello, Boston. Hello, Andrea. DGR Dave, it's nice to see you. I saw that you started a YouTube channel. I'll have to put you on my recommended list. TTM Fangirl, how are you? True Crime News, welcome. Andrew says, hi, Mini-Me, it's your favorite person, laughing out loud. Jacqueline, nice to see you. Good to see you too, Dave. And so tonight we are going to continue on our crusade to find the truth in the Tabitha Shuck Raines case. We have 6 days to our It's Time to Talk event at Tipton City Park, Friday, 6 p.m. We're going to be there for a few hours, and then again on Sunday at 2 p.m. for a few hours. So, if you knew Tabitha, had any information on Tabitha's case, made any reports, or gave any information to police, I would like to talk to you. We are finding out more and more as we're going through the information that we don't have it all. There's pages missing out of depositions. So in order to fill in those gaps, I'd like to speak to anyone that is willing to talk to me. Now, if you do not want to do that on camera, I certainly understand. We don't have to. I have an audio recorder. If you don't want your voice on the channel, I certainly understand that also. I can put it in a new program and give you an AI voice. So, with that being said, I'm going to have this scrolling at the bottom. If anybody can't make it those dates, here's my email address. Please email me. Yeah, I've got a little audio recorder that will tape our conversation, and then I can take the file for the audio and put it in a program and give that person an AI voice. So it's pretty cool. Learning lots of stuff. So what have we gone through past about this case? We've read Roberta's deposition, which Roberta is Michael's mother. We have talked to Mark Tate a couple of times now, last night being the second time. We have read the autopsy report. The first statement of Michael was released. I do have the second deposition for Michael on audio file, but his deposition is one that we're missing lots and lots of pages for. Marv, do you have a Cash App? Yes. I am going to show you where you can find all of that information. Let me share the screen. So, if you go to the True Crime with Marv site on YouTube. I'm putting the link in here. And you go over here and scroll over. There's an About section. And, whoops. If you scroll down, there's a bunch of links here. There's a link to the Facebook page, to the Discord, to our Twitter. I have Venmo. I have TikTok. I have PayPal. And I have Cash App. So that is where you can get all of those links whenever you need them. Hi, Grace. So does that help, Tish, on where to find that information? And then if I click on it, I can copy and paste it. And there's the link to the Cash App for you. But in the future, if you ever want to find it, that's where you can find it. If you are interested in becoming a member, you can click on the membership tab. Actually, if you click on home, nope, I just went out of, I did not go into what I wanted. If you want to become a member, you would also go to this main page, click join, and that'll give you information on our membership and how to support the channel. So, we're going to get started. We have a lot of pages to read. And between my mini-me and I, we are going to read this information. This is the case reports from the investigators tonight that we're reading through. A few videos back, we did the case report for the autopsy. So what we learned in that is that Tabitha was perfectly healthy. She was not pregnant at the time, which has been a big rumor for the past 20 years. She was shot in the forehead. She had a black and blue eye from getting hit. She had bruises and abrasions on her face and on the side of her head. She also had a wound on her throat, and she had a wound on her shoulder, which was thought to be a second bullet hole. So, Maria, this is the missing persons case report, and it was taken on 10/3 of 2002 at 6:30 p.m. The report was filed by Michael Raines. And actually, the date and time of this was 10/4/2002 at 6:10 p.m. So do you want to go ahead and read this first page for everyone?
On 10/03/02 at 6:10 p.m., I received a report that a Tabitha Raines has been missing since 10/02/02 at 6:30 p.m. This was reported by her husband, Mike Raines. Mike and his mother was at the police department to report her missing. They advised me that the last time she was seen was at 6:30 p.m. at the residence of Roberta Saunders at 429 N East St. Tabitha was last seen wearing black stretch pants with a black braided belt and a black flip-flop. Tabitha is approximately 5 feet 2 inches tall, red hair, below shoulder length, hazel eyes, and fair complexion. Tabitha also has a tattoo on her right hip of a heart cased with the sun. She was also wearing her gold wedding ring and engagement ring. I was advised by Roberta that Tabitha came over to her house and asked to watch her son Drake because she was going to go to the hospital with Kyle to see Kyle's girlfriend's grandmother, who was not expected to make it through the evening. Tabitha advised Roberta that she had to leave because Kyle was waiting on her. I asked Roberta if at any time she saw Kyle outside the residence or a vehicle description he was in. She said she did not see one. Roberta said at 6:15 a.m. she contacted her son, Mike, to see if Tabitha was there, and he said she must still be at the hospital. Roberta wrote out a statement as to the events that occupied throughout the day on 10/03/02. I talked to the officer who advised me that he had talked to Kyle, and Kyle told him that he saw Tabitha at the village pantry around 7 p.m. on 10/02/02, and she told him that she was going to go party with a girl by the name of Liz, and he did not know that last name. Officer Pike also talked to another friend, Lindsay Groves, and asked her if she had seen Tabitha and advised her that she is not in trouble. He just wanted to see if she was okay. Lindsay advised him that she would see that she got the message. Possibly friends of Tabitha are Elizabeth
Balser,
Lindsay Groves,
Jamie Hamilton,
Stacy Johnson, Emily
Sprinkle.
Is there
Yep. All right. You want me to read the next page?
more?
We'll go on, kind of go back and forth here. Okay. So it says death investigation, Tabitha Shuck Raines. County of offense, Tipton, gives the victim's address. Witnesses, Camille Pride, 163 Market Road, Tipton, Indiana. Gives the phone number where she was employed at. Summary. On 10/11/2002, I'm going to make this big again. I interviewed Camille Pride at her place of employment, the body shop, located in Tipton. Ms. Pride stated that she has known Liz Balser for approximately 7 years and used to date Liz's brother, Terry Ward. She went on to say on Thursday, 11/3/2002, that she was in Liz's company from 8:15 p.m. until 10 p.m. and that they were with other friends outside the Tipton courthouse. She said they talked and ate Chinese food. Ms. Pride said that Sandy Raines arrived, informing them of Tabby's disappearance. Ms. Pride said that on 10/7/2002, she got off from work at 5 p.m. and went to Marie Farlow's residence, where she stayed from 5:30 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. Ms. Pride said she called Liz Balser's mother's house from a phone booth in the Pizza Hut parking lot in Tipton, and that Liz subsequently met her there. Ms. Pride said that she and Liz Balser drove downtown to the Tipton courthouse, where they met up with Dave, whose last name she said she did not know. Ms. Pride said that they talked for a while, and then the three of them went to the liquor store and purchased beer. Following this, they all went to Marie Raines for approximately 45 minutes and then went to Little Daddy's bar in Kokomo. Ms. Pride said that the three of them were at Little Daddy's from approximately 11 p.m. until 1 a.m. Ms. Pride said that Liz Balser is friends with a girl who dances at Little Daddy's, but she, Pride, did not know the girl's name. Ms. Pride said that Liz's girlfriend, the dancer, came to their table several times during the course of the evening, and that Liz went to the bathroom with the girl for a few minutes. Pride said that Liz Balser made the statement, "People are accusing me, Balser, of hurting Tabby. But I did not do it." Ms. Pride said that Liz Balser never made any reference to having any involvement in or knowledge of who might be involved. And this was taken by Sergeant Robert E. Land and Mike Tarr. Ms. Price said that Dave was intoxicated and began making sexually oriented comments to her, so she and Liz Balser left him at Little Daddy's. Ms. Pride stated that on 11/8/2002, she was again with Liz Balser at Liz's mom's house from 6 p.m. until 11 p.m. Ms. Price said that while there, she, Liz's sister, Diane Brown, and Diane's boyfriend, Rudy, last name unknown, watched movies. Ms. Price said that Liz Balser has never made any statement as to what happened to Tabby, though this officer will have nothing further to report at this time. So this is the missing person narrative, Neil Rendall. Do you want to read that one for me? Neil Kendall, sorry.
Near Kendall, 124 First Street, Tipton.
You can skip that.
Came on to station and advised
Detective Stout
that John Yates had worked for him at one time approximately 6 weeks ago. In the first part of October, he came home to use his phone, and when he hit redial at Elwood number of...
You can skip that. Or skip, yep. So it gives two numbers here. We're going to skip those.
Came up on caller ID, and it was to the Harold M. Yates residence. And he knows that someone had made that call to that residence other than him.
Okay. And that was by Gary Stout. So the next page narrative says, at 8:17 a.m. on 10/7/2002, Nancy Johnson came to the police department. Gives an address and phone number. She stated that Wednesday night, 10/2/2002, at approximately 8:45 p.m., her and her husband, Wyatt Johnson, were walking in the park and in the area of the U-shaped drive. They heard what they thought to be shots coming from the back of the park and observed a red four-door vehicle, male driver, wearing a baseball cap, exit the park in a hurry. Second vehicle, white, gray, silver, coming from area of Shuffleboard. not able to give plate info. Gave a possible plate info. So, this is important because this could be a typo in the report, but she stated that Wednesday night, 10/2/2002, at approximately 8:45, they heard shots coming from the back of the park. But Tabitha, well, yeah, that would have been right. So, as we go along, listen and take notes as far as who owns a red 4-door vehicle and a white, gray, silver vehicle. Because it does come up throughout the reports. So this is a narrative from Patty Luttrell on 10/15/2002. You can skip the addresses, the age, and their social security number.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
So Patty, how do you pronounce her last name?
Luttrell.
Stated to Detective Stout that she is employed at the Tipton Hospital, and approximately on the 1st or 2nd of October, she believed to be on the 2nd between 10:50 p.m. and 10:55 p.m. When going to work in the hospital parking lot, she observed a pickup truck, dark in color, newer looking, driving in the middle drive. She heard yelling and shouting, and then she observed the vehicle exit back out of the drive of the south side. There was no
Topper
on the truck.
So she's stating that she believes, this is also on the 2nd of October, that she observed a pickup truck dark in color, which could have been the red one. We don't know. Driving in the middle drive, and she says she heard yelling and shouting, and then watched the truck exit. And for some reason, they thought it was important to say there was no topper on the truck. So, the next one is Matthew Brumfield. By the water tower on the other side of the park from where Tabby was supposedly shot. Okay. Matthew Brumfield advised compact Pressel laptop computer was stolen. Serial number not known. We'll try to locate it. Green folder and silver picture album also in bag. Estimated value $1,500. Officer Steiner notified and referred to case. Happened on 10/12/2000 between 2100 and 1:30. Complainant advised me he would TX with serial number. He would text me with serial numbers. Possible suspect, James Vaughter, Rick Lynch, Nate McCartney, and Ben Jones. Front door kicked in. Complainant advised computer was broken. Approximate value $200. See case report. So I'm sure this will come up again. So now we're going to get into the death investigation part of it. So this next one is the witness, Roberta Souders, victim's mother-in-law, gives the address, her telephone number, and her cell phone number. Emily A. Brown gives her information. Amber Heaton, Tiffany Boatwright, Rebecca Amon, Amanda Pratt, Jewel Pratt, who is Amanda's grandmother, Linda Cole, who is Jewel Pratt's daughter, Emily and Jennifer Sprinkle, Jennifer West, and David Lewicki. Summary: on 10/5/2002 at 1900 hours, I assisted Detective Tony Frawley of the Indiana State Police Department and Detective Gary Stout of the Tipton Police Department with a death investigation. The victim is identified as Tabitha Tabby Raines, age 16. Sergeant Timothy Miller of the Indiana State Police Department and I conducted a tape-recorded statement of the victim's mother-in-law, Roberta Souders. Tabby was married to Mrs. Souders' son, Michael Raines, for approximately 7 months, and the two have a 5-month-old son, Drake Raines. Mrs. Souders resides at, while Michael and Tabby lived in the same house, but in apartment B. Mrs. Souders said she communicates with her children, Tabby and Michael, several times each day. She said that Michael works half days at an auto repair in Kokomo, Indiana. On Monday through Thursday, each evening, Michael attends Lincoln Tech in Indianapolis and arrives home at approximately 10:45 p.m. each night. Mrs. Souders provided the following account of her contact with Tabby on the Wednesday, 10/2/2002. In the morning hours, Tabby and Drake were in her apartment. Mrs. Souders watched Drake from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. while Tabby attended GED class. Tabby picked up Drake at approximately 3:30 p.m. and at approximately 4:30 p.m., Mrs. Souders observed Tabby taking Drake for a walk. At approximately 6:30 p.m., Tabby left Drake with Roberta, stating that Kyle Neff was waiting to take her to the hospital to visit Amanda Pratt's grandmother, who was very ill. Mrs. Souders said she never saw Neff, nor did she see any vehicles that Neff would have been in. Michael returned home from class at approximately 10:45 p.m., as usual, and told his mother that he did not know where Tabby was. Mrs. Souders kept Drake overnight and called Michael at 5:45 a.m. on Thursday morning, but Michael still did not know where Tabby was, nor did he hear from her. At 7 a.m., Mrs. Souders called Debbie Neff, Kyle Neff's mother, and told her that she had stopped at Kyle and Amanda's house last night, but that Kyle was not home. Debbie told Miss Souders that Amanda was home and not at the hospital with her grandmother. At approximately 11:50 a.m., Ms. Souders had a telephone conversation with Kyle Neff, who told her that he brought Tabby and Drake to her house, but then took Tabby to the village pantry in Tipton. I'm going to read that part again. And told her that he had stopped at Kyle and Amanda's house last night, but that Kyle was not home. Debbie told Miss Souders that Amanda was home and not at the hospital with her grandmother. At approximately 11:50 a.m., Mrs. Souders had a telephone conversation with Kyle Neff, who told her that he brought Tabby and Drake to her house, but then took Tabby to the village pantry in Tipton, where he dropped her off. He said that Tabby was going to meet friends whom he did not know, and he told Miss Souders that this was the last contact he had had with Tabby. Now, the reason I am reading that a second time is because later on in statements, it does not state that Kyle dropped Tabby off at the village pantry. It says that he saw her at the village pantry. So that is one of the inconsistencies in this case. All right. You want to keep reading?
Where are we at?
Top of the page. Speak loud.
I can't speak loud.
Sure you can.
I've been speaking loud all day. To this part.
Nope, right at the top here.
You're leaving me at a... Wait.
Oh. Right here, sorry.
I say that is an incomplete sentence. Miss Souders stated that 2 weeks prior to Tabby's disappearance, she and Tabby had been at the Marsh grocery store in Tipton, Indiana. Kyle Neff?
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Neff entered the store and informed Tabby that Amanda Pratt was in the car and wanted to talk to her. Following this conversation, Tabby told Miss Saunders that Amanda and Kyle were moving to Greentown, Indiana, because they were being threatened by a drug dealer from Indianapolis. Tabby told her that this drug dealer got ripped off and has threatened to kill Kyle, Amanda, and their baby. Tabby was last seen wearing black flip-flops/sandals, black stretch pants, and a black braided belt. Miss Saunders was not able to recall the type of color of top Tabby had been wearing. She said that Tabby had wedding rings on her left hand along with Michael's wedding ring on her right hand. Miss Saunders said that she heard Tabby was supposed to have met a female by the name of Liz Belser at the village pantry on Wednesday night. This information has not been confirmed. On 10/03/02 at 5 p.m., Liz Belser telephoned Miss Saunders stating she last saw Tabby on Tuesday, 10/01/02 at Tabby's apartment, and that she had nothing to do with Tabby's disappearance, nor did she have any knowledge of her disappearance. See transcript statement for complete details.
Yeah.
On 10/05/02 at 11:07 p.m., Sergeant Miller and I conducted a tape recording interview of Emily Brown at the Tipton Police Department. She stated the following. On 10/03/02 at midnight, a group of friends went to Kyle Neff's and Amanda Pratt's residence. Miss Brown, Amber Heaton, and Tiffany Boatwright?
Yep.
Boatwright went to the residence where they had a 20 to 30 minute conversation about Tabby's disappearance. Amanda and Tabby had a falling out over Kyle. Kyle told Miss Brown that he dropped Tabby off at Roberta's house and has not seen her since.
All right. So right there is number one inconsistency with Kyle Neff. Said he dropped Tabby off at home.
Kyle also informed her that he and Tabby went to St. Joseph's Hospital to visit Amanda and her grandmother. Kyle denied having any knowledge of where Tabby could be located.
Okay. That is the first time we hear that Kyle said that they actually went to the hospital. In all the other reports, there's nothing mentioned of it. In fact, it said that there was no reason for Tabby to go to the hospital because Amanda Pratt's grandmother had knee surgery and it was not life-threatening. Go ahead.
Amanda told Miss Brown that she had been home on Wednesday evening and also stated that she hopes Tabby is located and is okay, even though she does not like Tabby. She told Miss Brown that if Amanda and Tabby paths ever crossed, she would kill Tabby.
Okay, stop there. So Amanda Pratt is Kyle Neff's girlfriend, fiance. She and Tabby had a falling out months ago before Tabby met up with them at the grocery store. They hadn't talked for a while. And now in this statement from the police, they're saying that Amanda Pratt said that if she ever met up with Tabitha, she would kill her. That's quite interesting.
On 10/05/02 at 11:40 p.m., Sergeant Miller and I conducted a tape-recorded interview of Amber Heaton at the Tipton Police Department. Amber provided the following, as stated to her by Kyle Neff and Amanda Pratt. Kyle said that he and Amanda dropped Tabby off at her mother-in-law's house because they were going to the hospital to see Amanda's grandmother. They did not know at that time that the grandmother had been released from the hospital at 5 p.m. on the same day, Wednesday. They have not seen Tabby since Wednesday. Amanda told Miss Heaton, I hope they find her. She also told Miss Heaton, if our paths cross, I'll kill her for trying to break us, Kyle and Amanda, up.
Okay, stop there. So important information just out of this little paragraph is Kyle said that he and Amanda dropped Tabby off at her mother-in-law's house because they were going to the hospital to see Amanda's grandmother. Well, okay, guess that's possible. But in all the other interviews, there's never been any mention of Kyle and Amanda dropping Tabby off at her house. It's always Kyle dropped her off. And apparently they didn't know that the grandmother had been released that day. They have not seen Tabby since Wednesday. And once again, Amanda told this different witness that if their paths crossed, she would kill Tabby for trying to break her and Kyle up. So that's twice to two different people that she said she would kill Tabby. Okay, go ahead. Or do you want me to read for a little bit?
Andrea sent a comment that Amanda was at the hospital by herself, according to her depo.
Yeah. Yep, and we're going to get there. Amanda was at the hospital. According to Amanda in her deposition, she was at the hospital all by herself. So when was she at the hospital if the grandmother got released at 5:01 or 5 p.m.? Where was she the rest of the time? Go ahead.
Kyle told Miss Heaton that he had their phone number changed 2 days ago because he's being accused of stealing a 0.5 gram of cocaine from an Indianapolis drug dealer. The drug dealer is threatening physical harm to Kyle, Amanda, and their baby.
Yeah. And it's coincidental, but this drug dealer's name is also Tabby. So it gets interesting.
On 10/05/02 at 11:52 p.m., I conducted a tape recording interview of Tiffany Boatwright. She told me the following. Thursday evening was the first time Tiffany met Kyle and Amanda. Kyle asked the three girls if they had any weed to smoke or any cocaine. Kyle told Tiffany he saw Tabby at the village pantry in Tipton on Wednesday evening. Amanda told Tiffany that she hated Tabby and that if their paths ever crossed, she would kill her.
So once again, Kyle's telling a different story. Kyle is saying that he saw Tabby at the village pantry. Not that he dropped her off there to meet friends, but that he just saw her there. So which one is it?
What is the village pantry?
Village pantry was a gas station. Grocery store. Was it a grocery store, Andrea, or a gas station? I can't remember. It's not there now, I know that.
Well, that's inconvenient.
Yeah.
On today's date, between 5:30 and 6 p.m., Tiffany had a telephone conversation with Pratt. Amanda had called Becky Eamon's cell phone, and the cell originated from Kyle and Amanda's residence. Amanda asked, "Did you hear about Tabby?" Amanda believes that Liz Balser killed Tabby and wanted Tiffany to come to her house to talk.
It was a convenience store. Awesome. Thank you so much. So, the call originated from Kyle and Amanda's residence. Amanda believes that Liz Balser killed Tabby. Where is Amanda getting this from so quickly? That's my question. It says, see transcribed statement for complete details. Well, I would love to see all of Tiffany Boatwright's statement. However, I only have the even pages. I do not have the odd pages of the statement. Okay.
On 10/06/02 at 12:45 a.m., I conducted a tape recording interview of Becky Eamon, who states she has no knowledge of what has occurred to the victim. Miss Eamon was able to confirm that Amanda had called her cell phone and talked with Tiffany. She said that Amanda wanted Tiffany and herself to come out to her residence this evening.
So Amanda wanted Tiffany to come to Amanda's house that evening. Okay. Oh, we have the odd pages, not the evens. Okay.
That would explain why it says 5 up there.
No, this is a different one, but keep going.
On this date, at approximately 4 a.m., Sergeant Miller, Detective Foley, 2 Howard County Sheriff deputies, and I located Jonathan Yates to interview him. We found him at Detective Foley.
All right, so what city did they find him in? Kokomo. Okay, so that's important. Normally I don't read the address, but okay, so what date was this?
I don't know. It's on the previous page.
I'm surprised they didn't put it in there. Okay, so on this date, okay, go ahead.
Detective Foley had a consent to search form that he read to Mr. Yates. Yates signed the form, agreed to have his vehicle searched. Mr. Yates drives a red Chevrolet pickup truck, which, after having been searched, was not found to contain any weapons or contraband.
Okay.
It was red.
Yes. Maria just pointed out. Jonathan Yates had a red vehicle, a red truck. And it's important because in that statement there, It says that they found him in Kokomo. The reason that is important is because Jonathan Yates states that he was not in Tipton that evening, that Tabby went missing and was murdered. And I have a polygraph that says he's telling the truth. Yet he was one of the 3 that were arrested for her murder. Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Yates was transported to the Tipton Police Department, where he was interviewed in my presence by Detective Tony Foley. In his statement, Yates stated that he has known Tabby Raines for approximately 5 years, and that approximately 2 years ago, he dated her for about a week. He said Tabby was a freshman at the time, and he a junior. Yates said he never had sexual intercourse with Tabby, but that he did smoke marijuana with her. Yates said he last saw Tabby approximately 5 months ago when she had her baby.
Okay. So he says that he last saw her 5 years ago, or 5 months ago. 2 years beforehand, he had dated her while she was a freshman. But the most important thing he's stating is that he had not seen her in 5 months. And once again, there was marijuana smoked. Okay, go ahead.
Yates gave the following account of where and whom he was with each evening since Tuesday, 10/01/02. On Tuesday evening, 10/01/02, Yates was at Bobby Nelson's residence along with Robbie's girlfriend, Mandy, last name unknown, and Tommy Nelson, Robbie's brother. On Wednesday evening, 10/02/02, Yates was at Paul Vasquez?
Velasquez.
What?
Where are you?
Vasquez residence. Also present at this residence was Jennifer Long, Jean Long, and Wes Miller. On Thursday evening, 10/03/02, Yates was also at the Paul Vasquez residence along with Robbie and Tommy Nelson and Tommy's girlfriend Mandy. Robbie Nelson had purchased cocaine, and all of them consumed the cocaine during that evening. On Friday, 10/04/02, Yates was again at the Paul Vasquez residence along with Jennifer Long and Robbie Nelson, Liz Balser, and a girlfriend whose name was unknown to Yates.
Okay, hang on. Who was he with that night? This would have been Friday, right? Is that what it says? Friday night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he was with... Did I hear Liz Balser's name in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's the first time he's stating that he was with Liz Balser that week. Is he lying? Is he telling the truth? We don't know.
On Saturday, 10/05/02, between 3:30 and 4 p.m., Yates was at the Paul Vasquez residence with Wes Miller and Mr. Vasquez. Yates said that he, Miller, and Vasquez began talking about Tabby as a missing person and said that this was the first knowledge he had that Tabby was missing. Yates maintains he has no knowledge of Tabby's death and no idea whom she might have been with last.
So he's saying the first time that he heard that Tabby went missing was on Saturday. Andrea, where does Vasquez live? Was he in Tipton at that time? Because we've read so much. I know you remember things better than I do. So if you could answer that in the chat, I would appreciate it. I'm thinking, because he said he was in Kokomo, that they lived in Kokomo, but I'm not sure. At the time, yes, they were in Tipton. Okay, so that's a discrepancy because earlier he said he was in Kokomo and now he's saying he was at the Vasquez residence, which is in Tipton. Okay. You want me to read a little bit? Where are you at?
There.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So Yates said that he had smoked marijuana with Mindy Sisners earlier on the same evening. Yates' last contact with Kyle Neff and Amanda Pratt was in July of 2002 when Kyle borrowed and burned some of Yates' CDs. So he's stating that he didn't even see Kyle in October. He went on to say that in April of May 2002, Yates was with Michael Raines and his sister, Michelle Raines. They applied for jobs at IMMI in Westfield. Yates said he had no contact with Michael Raines, Kyle Neff, or Amanda Pratt since these dates. So he's saying April or May of 2002, but yet in the sentence beforehand, he said in July of 2002 is when he last had contact with them, when Kyle borrowed and burned some of Yates' CDs. So July 2002 was the last contact with Kyle and Amanda. May 2002 was the last contact with Michael Raines. On 10/6/2002 at 7 a.m., Detective Frawley and I conducted a tape-recorded interview of Amanda Pratt at the Tipton Police Department. Amanda stated the following: she and Tabby have been as close as sisters for the past 2 years, having met at Tipton High School when Amanda was a senior and Tabby was a freshman. Approximately 6 months ago, the two experienced some personal issues, some personal problems. During that time, Tabby wanted to have sex with her and Kyle three-way. However, Amanda declined to participate. Tabby also tried to break up Amanda and Kyle. This is the first time I'm hearing that Amanda declined to participate. But this is Amanda's version. Approximately 1 month ago, Amanda talked with Tabby at the Marsh supermarket in Tipton, and she maintains that they both worked out their problems at that time. So if you thought that your best friend wanted your boyfriend/fiance and you didn't talk to them for 6 months, and all of a sudden you meet at a grocery store and you're going to work things out, I don't know. On Wednesday, Amanda's grandmother, Jewel Pratt, had knee surgery at St. Joe's Hospital in Kokomo. And Amanda says she was at the hospital with her son and her father from approximately 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. She said she returned home where she remained the rest of the night with her son. But yet she told people in prior pages that her and Kyle Neff dropped Tabby off at the village pantry. Amanda's sister, Andrea Pratt, visited Amanda for a short time. Robbie Nelson and his girlfriend, Mandy Amen, also came over for approximately 5 minutes. Kyle was not home, but was out riding his motorcycle until approximately 10 p.m. Kyle told Amanda that he had seen Tabby and her son Drake at the village pantry at approximately 4:30 p.m. And Tabby told him that she was waiting on Liz Balser. Tabby asked Kyle if he had any drugs. She said that Kyle was at Mandy Amon's house from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And the remaining 2 hours, he was out riding his motorcycle by himself before returning home. Now that's important. He's supposedly at Mandy Amon's house from 7 to 8 and then goes out riding his motorcycle by himself before returning home. Yet in other documents, we know that he was at Tabby's apartment, that he made a phone call to go get drugs before he was riding around on his motorcycle. Amanda states that she and Kyle have purchased narcotics from the following persons: Derek Boyd, marijuana; Jonathan Yates, pills; Liz Balser, cocaine; Tabby, last name unknown, cocaine. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Pam. Thanks for joining us. Amanda said that she and Kyle have also purchased cocaine from a white female she also named Tabby. And this Tabby lives in Indianapolis, Indiana. This Tabby has threatened Kyle and Amanda because she says that some of her cocaine is missing and believes the two of them are responsible for the theft. Amanda and Kyle are considering moving to Greentown, Indiana for their own safety and the safety of their child. Amanda received information from Mandy Amon that John Yates hurt a female subject and that Liz Balser is involved. So Tabby, the drug dealer in Indianapolis, states that she had cocaine stolen. Supposedly that night in the park, Liz Balser accuses Tabitha, our Tabby, of stealing cocaine. What's up with that? Is that a coincidence? Wrong Tabby? Was Liz given the wrong information on the incorrect Tabby on purpose? It's a question. Amanda maintains that she and Kyle have nothing to do with the disappearance or subsequent killing of Tabby Shuck Raines. On 10/7/02, I had a telephone conversation with Linda Cole, who confirmed that her mother, Jewel Pratt, had knee surgery on Wednesday, 10/2/02. Jewel had the surgery at St. Joseph's Hospital in Kokomo, Indiana, and was in the hospital from early morning hours until approximately 6 p.m. on that same day, when she was released. Mrs. Cole said that her brother and Amanda's son were at St. Joseph's Hospital from approximately 11:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. She also stated that neither Kyle Neff nor any friends of his or Amanda's ever visited that day. That's important. So I'm going to go ahead and read another page here. On 10/7/02 at 9:45 a.m., Sergeant Tim Miller and I conducted a tape-recorded interview of Emily and Jennifer Sprinkle at the residence. Emily stated that she and Tabby were together from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. on Wednesday, 10/2/02 at a GED class, which they both take. She said that she and Tabby walked to Susie Richter's residence in Tipton, Indiana. Emily dates Mrs. Richter's son, Larry Davis, who is 20 years old. Also present at the Richter residence were 17-year-old Ryan Davis and 15-year-old James Davis. Emily states that the six of them talked for approximately 1 hour, after which Tabby left by herself sometime between 4 p.m. and 4:30. Tabby told them that she was going to pick up her son at daycare. Emily did not know what Tabby's plans were for the evening. Now, these are individuals that are with Tabby. And she said that sometime between 4 and 4:30, Tabby left on her own. Yet, if we go back, did another person say that they saw Tabby at Village Pantry at 4:30? Isn't that what Kyle Neff said? I hope you're all taking notes like I asked. Emily stated that Liz Balser, a friend, usually calls her every other day. However, since Tabby's disappearance, Ms. Balser has not called her at all. Jennifer Sprinkle stated that she had received a phone call from Liz Balser on 10/6/2002 between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. Jennifer said that Ms. Balser was freaked out about Tabby, but did not give any specific details. Jennifer thinks that Ms. Balser was calling to see if she and Emily had heard any rumors, but did not tell her that. On 10/8 at 4:40 p.m., I conducted a tape recording interview of Daniel Lewicki at the Howard County Sheriff's Department. At the time of this interview, Mr. Lewicki was incarcerated on a charge of public intoxication, arrested from the night before. Mr. Lewicki said that on 10/7/02, he had been drinking alcohol with Camille Pride and a white female by the name of Liz at Little Daddy's in Kokomo. He said that earlier that evening, Camille and Liz subject picked up in front of Tipton Courthouse. They all went to Marie Farlow's trailer, located in a trailer park on the west side of Tipton, and were there for approximately 1 to 2 hours. Lewicki said that the three of them then went to Little Daddy's bar in Kokomo, where they remained from approximately 9 p.m. until 1 a.m. Lewicki said that sometime near midnight, Liz started crying and said, "People think I killed her, but I didn't. Kyle killed her. Kyle blew her head off." Liz indicated to Lewicki that she had been with Tabby just prior to her being killed and mentioned the name Brooke Mendenhall. He went on to say that Liz gave no details of how Ms. Mendenhall might possibly be involved in this incident. Mr. Lewicki identified Liz Balser from a photo array that he was shown at the jail and reiterated that this was the first time he had ever met her. He said he had known Miss Pride for approximately 6 years. Investigation continuing. So, In the past hour, we've heard from many people that the police talked to. Now, I said this is the police case reports. This is their narrative of what they did and who they talked to. Okay. We have more. There's more pages. There's probably about 20, 30 more pages to go through in these case reports. So it's going to take me a couple of more days to get through it all. So I want to know from the audience, what are your thoughts on what I've read so far? What are the discrepancies that you've heard? Okay, Mark must be behind because he said it was a convenience store. Blue Kit said, I hope someone comes forward with info. It's time for Tabitha to finally rest in peace. Absolutely. So what I suggest is to the members and the subscribers and the individuals that are following this case, I'm going to create a, what is it called? Playlist on the True Crime with Marv YouTube site. And it's going to be just for Tabitha. So I will make sure that all the videos for Tabitha are put in here. That does not belong in there. So what I suggest is that if you want to help, try to find discrepancies, go back and watch these videos of what we've already talked about, and then compare it to take notes, compare your own information. And then what I would like you to do is either A, send me an email with what discrepancies you're seeing, or just put it in the comments underneath the video. Whichever you prefer. But I'll go in after this live ends and I'll put all of Tabitha's videos in that folder. Well, it's in that playlist. And that way you can go back and listen to what we've said. Because Mark, Andrea, and I have noticed inconsistencies, but as viewers and being in the true crime community, we know that you guys have sharp ears. So we're asking for your help in case we miss something. You know, everybody hears something differently. So we want your guys' help. And I'll do that right after I'm done. I'll make sure that all of Tabitha's videos go underneath the Tabitha Shuck Raines playlist. So tomorrow night, Andrea says, smile. No, she says. Tomorrow night, I'm going to continue on. And I'm going to read another 10 to 20 pages. Probably another hour and 15 minutes worth. And then, see, tomorrow's Sunday. And then Monday, we'll finish out the case reports. Whatever I don't finish tomorrow night, we'll get done Monday. Because it's really important that you guys hear what the case reports are. Yeah. Please get together, friends. Come forward and just tell the truth. I agree. Yes, Grace. And everyone hears and takes things differently. So that is why your input is so important. No, the documents have not been made public. Mark says, do you all see the pattern yet? Following up on hearsay, while all the while we and many others were telling them who they need to go after. Kyle Neff and many others. Correct. And who got the sweetheart deal out of all this? Kyle Neff. And right now, as we're giving you the information, Kyle and Amanda Pratt would be my number one suspects. Somebody fed Tabby a line of BS to get her out of the house that night. And the BS is that Amanda's grandmother was so gravely ill that she may not make it through the night. But yet that was not the case. Not the case at all. Which is also kind of fishy if the case is closed. Shouldn't all of this be public information? Yes, you are correct. It should be. But things are being hidden and have been being hidden for over 20 years. They do not want us looking into this. They do not want us telling you what we know. They do not want this case solved. And why is that? What are they hiding? And this is one of my missions, is to go to the courthouse and find out exactly if this case was closed and when it was closed. Because last night Mark told you guys that somebody made a FOIA request in 2015, 2016, and they were denied because the case was still open. So what is the truth? Well, I'm going to find out. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. They do not want anyone to know that it was swept under the rug in order to protect a friend of the prosecutor. God forbid her name be shamed because her son murdered someone. Exactly. Exactly. And you're going to hear more about that. In fact, I think you're going to hear more about that in Josh Sigler's upcoming book, which, since I'm mentioning that, I want to show you where you can find information. So this is the Justice for Tabitha Shuck Raines Facebook site. I will put this in the chat. So this is Josh's post one day ago. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Okay. What happened to Tabby? An inside look at the unsolved murder case that rocked a small town is officially ready to order. I'm taking pre-orders now, so please inbox me if you want a copy. It'll be $23 flat fee. This is a book that you're going to want to read, I assure you. I'm telling you here and now that he has information that we don't have. Especially, I believe, when it comes to the prosecutor, Jay Rich. But we are supporting Josh in his book endeavor. Andrea will have some copies of the book that you can purchase along with the Tabitha merchandise. And if you want to know what the Tabitha merchandise is, on the Justice for Tabitha page, there's featured here. If you go to the second one and click on it, here's the merch. Click on Two Sister Queens, go to their page, send them a Facebook message with your order. This here, this Justice for Tabitha on the black, it's nice, but somebody just asked Andrea for this on a royal blue t-shirt, and the red pops out on that shirt. So we have shirts and we have tumblers. And it gives the information as to what forms of payment are taken, what the sizes are, what the prices are for t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, hoodies, and the tumbler. So you can always find it there.
I'm gonna go. I gotta go get your son.
Okay. Thank you for helping me tonight. Just want to say thank you to my mini-me, Maria.
I can't be a mini if I'm taller than you.
She says, I can't be a mini-me if I'm taller than you. She's such a snot. Right now, pre-orders are being taken, Grace. But as soon as the book is actually out to be sold, I will give you all the details as to how to get it. But if you want to pre-order it, you can message Josh and pre-order it. So all prices on the merchandise for Tabitha, $5 of that comes to my channel, and $5 goes to Mark Tate for the legal fund. Because as Mark said last night, we're going to try to get an attorney involved. Tabby isn't here to vouch for herself. They're making her to be a bed. Yes. I agree. And that comes from 3 individuals. Okay? That information comes from her husband, from Kyle Neff, and Amanda Pratt. So if you would like a Tabby shirt, please order it. Wear it to the event on next Friday or next Sunday if you can get it by then. If you're local, and need to go and pick it up for the event, I'm sure Andrea would meet you somewhere to get payment or to drop it off and meet you somewhere to get it. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to continue this adventure on Tabitha's journey tomorrow night, Monday night, until I get through these reports. I am going to be releasing my new merch in a video on Monday. Can't wait. I hope you all like it. All right, everyone. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Like I said, go back and rewatch the streams. Look for inconsistencies. things we may have missed, put them in the comments of the videos or send me an email. I appreciate it. Have a great night. Bye.